people I wanna do it. Oops, Daisy. It looks like I'm a little bit sicker than I was yesterday. Yeah. Looks like I'm a little bit sicker than I was yesterday. I do feel a little bit lousy. I feel a little bit lousy. I was sneezing overnight and all. Yeah, so I don't know if I feel a little bit better. If I feel better later. Barry, what's up? Let me look for something. Yes, I was feeling a little bit lousy last night. I still feel lousy. A little bit stuffy and all. But I say before I go get myself together and go to bed, I say let me check in. Let me check in with you all so we can chat a little bit. We can continue our conversation from yesterday. As as we were reading the book of Job yesterday. I don't want to leave you all hanging now. Okay? Okay, beautiful. I don't want to leave you all hanging. So I said, you know what, sunshine or rain, alive or dead, I'm coming. Lyndon, my love, what's up? How you doing? Good morning to you, sugar. Yeah, I said no matter what happened this morning, I'm coming. We're coming to continue the reading. We're coming to chat a little bit. Yeah, I'm coming. It's the only coming I'm coming, so I may as well just come. Right, Lyndon? Good morning, my love. How are you doing? How is everybody doing on here? For those of you who are, God, Monsieur Eagle, how you doing? Good morning, sugar. You hear all my stuff up? Yeah. I'm kind of stuffy and, yeah, and stuff. But the show must go on. So welcome everybody. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I sincerely appreciate you all. Now, if you're wondering where in the world am I? How did I get on this side of the talk, on this side of the tube? Well, you have landed on the page of Trev from Trevessence. And today we are going to continue with the reading of the book of Job. So far, we have read several chapters, way more than half, about three-quarters of Job. And the intrigue and the interest in Job's life has not left us. If anything, it has absorbed us some more. Because the other times when I've read the book of Job, it has not been as fascinating. Have you ever read a novel and the first time you read the novel, you're like, hey, wait a minute, what's this now? But the second time when you read the novel, you're like, So that's what, Carolyn, what's up? What are you doing, sugar? Good morning, good to see you. But the second time when you read the novel, you're like, so this is what he was talking about. Well, that's we're having those eureka moments with the book of Job. Yeah. Yesterday we saw where Job is angry, he's confused, like many of us. Yeah, he's confused. His friends are there. He expects his friends to support him, but his friends are saying to him, as much as we love you and we would love to support you, what you got going on here is a fantasy. You claim you've been serving this God, now look at you. Now you're calling him, but where is he? You are still hurting, you have still lost everything, you are still being scorned. Remember Job said, oh, he remembered. Oh, that's the first time I just a read for read sake. Something like that. Something like that. So Job is in his desperation. He's begging his God, like he's arguing with him, and he's expressing to him all these ambiguous thoughts. that he's having. You know, he's like, why you make me come out of my mother's womb? Why you make my mother's knees part to let me out? You should have made my mother close her knee them and let me give up the ghost before I was even on the earth. Right, Nandra? What am I doing here? What is my purpose here? If I am here, I don't know how I got here, and I don't know my end. I don't know what's gonna happen to me after this. Just let me go lay with the paupers already. Let me go lay where the kings. Let me go lay in the darkness from which no man return. He's upset, and rightfully so, because you see, he has not only lost his earthly riches, he has also lost his stature. He says even his servants he talked to, he called them, they don't come. The walls in Matilda and come to him when they feel a mind. You know, he says he was so familiar with everybody in the community. As soon as they see Job coming, everybody bowed to him, everybody respect him. Now people are laughing at him. I say, what happened? We thought this kind of affliction only came upon wicked people. So what kind of wickedness you do where your God know that he's punishing you like this, but we don't know? So they really let him have it. But we're going to continue today. We are going to continue with the reading, see what else Job. And for those of you who are just coming, remember too that I am being specific when I tell you who is speaking. Because I know a lot of you like to tell me, oh, Trev, everything in the Bible, I got to write it. I've been begging y'all, when y'all say something like that, to stop and listen to yourself and ask yourself if you're living in the real world and participating in reality, or are you living in a fantasy world and that's where you are participating? Because, Superman, because we don't know how that sounds right to you. But anyway, that is why I am saying who is speaking, so you can know, you can follow the story. Like I told you, the majority of Job, look, what's up, my love? What are you doing? The majority of the book of Job, it was his friends talking and him responding to his friends. Eliphaz gave his peace, Bildad gave his peace, Zophar gave his peace, and in the last one we saw, Joseph, what's up? We saw Elihu. We saw Elihu giving his peace too. Like everybody is putting in their peace. It's not that they don't love Job, but they want to see the reasoning. They're begging for the reasoning behind Job's loyalty. And Job in himself, he's trying his best to find a way to. Thank you, Joseph. He's Bertel, what's up? He's trying to find a way to convince his friends that his faith is worthy of being had. Mama Joy, what's up? He's trying to get them to understand, but they ain't buying it. And so that frustrates Job. Because in reality, like, why can't you call your God to come and take away all of this from you? Why would it be that you are suffering the same plight as the non-believers? You know, so me put too much lip gloss on my lip. Make my lip favor liver. Yeah, my Jamaican people understand me say my lip favor liver. But anyway, yeah. So poor Job, he's trying to convince his friends that his faithfulness is worthy of being had, but his friends ain't having it. And Job is frustrated. All Job can think of is to ask God for just take me and done. Just let me go lay down in the darkness and done. Because I know I am here, but I don't even know where I'm going. In one of the verses, he said, look at this. I'm doing this, but who is going to be able to prove me to be a liar? Like, there is nobody who is going to prove me to be a liar, because if I live like this and there is a judgment, there won't be anybody to say, oh, you did something right or you did something wrong. And he said, and if I don't do this, there still won't be anybody to tell me I'm right or wrong, but this is what I choose to do. And I think that is reasonable. You know, it's by choice. You can't tell these people, some of these people, anything though, that people have a choice whether or not they want to believe the fantasy or they want to do something, they want to believe or they just don't want to believe. People don't want to appreciate that there are agnostics in the world. This right here I'm reading about Job, yes, some agnosticism was going on there because Job himself was doubted whether or not what he was doing was right. Because remember, it's just beliefs are not facts. I tell you that over and over. You know, say me crazy, but who is going to prove me wrong? Just like Joe, beliefs are not facts. Facts are proven, irrefutable. Yeah. But you can't tell me that something is a fact when you have never done it, you have never tried it, you have never experienced it. All of it just live up in your head. We ain't doing that. Yeah. We come with reality. David, what's up? How are you doing? Good morning, my love. Good to see you. Oh, that's semi-pretty. Thank you very much. My mom and my dad did a great job, didn't they? Yeah. Trev, you don't have a choice. Who said you don't have a choice? Trev, you don't have a choice. You have to do what I say when I say. How I say. Your choice. Then try make a choice and see what happens. You know, that is the approach of a lot of Christians. You know that, right? They want to tell you that this is what you gotta do. Oh yeah, you gotta do this. This is what you gotta do because the Bible says so. And I often say to them, have you read the Bible? Because if I had any doubts about what was in the Bible, I can't just grab it out of thin air and say, "Oh, I doubt the Bible. The Bible is foolish. I don't want to read the Bible." No, you got to read it for yourself so that when you say you doubt the Bible is true and you have questions about the stories in the Bible, you make a little bit of sense, you know? But the people who are coming up and saying, "Oh, you just have to go read the Bible. It's in the Bible. If you follow it." Those people have never read it. They don't read it. Look at my friend, too much chat. What's up? How are you, my love? Exactly, David. It is sad. They don't read it, but they are ready to chastise you. They are ready to alienate you. Them ready to condemn you because nobody condemns people more than a Christian who believe that what they say they believe is true and right, and the person who does not believe is some kind of devil. Like, I appreciate you too, much. I appreciate you, my love. How have you been? Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Yeah, so this morning now, so this morning we are going to finish. I think we might just finish reading the book of Job. I think the book of Job goes to like 40 something. Yeah, I think it goes to 42. Let me make sure. I'm not sure how many I'm going to be able to read. How many chapters. But we're going to. Because you see, my friends, whenever I read the Bible, I like to read as much of the story as possible. Just like when I am reading a novel, I like to read the novel continuously. It helps me to keep my thoughts focused on the story. When you grab the Bible and you read one verse here and one verse there, you don't get the context of what's going on. You don't know who is speaking, to whom they are speaking, what are the circumstances surrounding whatever utterances they are making. You just get up and say, oh, if it in the Bible are true. Look at the conversation between Job and his friends. You can't just grab them something there and say whatever. Oh, oh my gosh, me can't laugh. She said, if you make yes, I read when she get for go be. All right, sorry. Oh wow, she raised me up good and proper. But anyway, me cut that thought there because my sister said she want to go bed. But me see where me was yesterday. Where did I stop yesterday? Cadwalia said that. Where did I stop yesterday? Una sister, me don't remember when me stopped yesterday. Me swear somebody did mark it yesterday. Sure. It doesn't go like you want dismissal. Because we stopped where Elihu was speaking. Then all comes me never mark it. Uno not see me dying trial here. Oh, me did mark if you choose it here. 34. Yeah, me did pass 31. 34. So if you all are planning on following me as I read this, yeah, me know I'm a little bit stuffy, but that's okay. If you don't plan to follow me while I read, we are on to Job chapter 34. Okay? And at this time, Elihu is speaking. Okay? Furthermore, Elihu answered and said, Hear my words, O ye wise men, and give ear unto me, he that have knowledge. For the ear tries words, as the mouth tastes meat. Let us choose to us judgment. Let us know among ourselves what is good. For Job had said, I am righteous, and God has taken away my judgment. Should I lie against my right? My wound is incurable without transgression. What man is like Job, who drinks up scorning like water, which goeth in company with the workers of iniquity, and walks with wicked men? For he hath said, It profits a man nothing that he should delight himself with God. Therefore, hearken unto me, ye men of understanding. Far be it from God that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity. For the work of a man shall be rendered unto him, and cause every man to find according to his ways. Yea, surely God will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. Who hath given him a charge over the earth? Or who hath disposed the whole world? If he set his heart upon man, if he gather unto himself his spirit and his breath, all flesh shall perish together, and man shall turn again unto dust. If now thou hast understanding, hear this. Hearken to the voice of my words. This is Elihu speaking. Is not no God speaking. This is Elihu. Okay? Let us continue. Elihu continues. He says, Shall even he that hates right govern? And wilt thou condemn him that is most just? Is it fit to say to a king, Thou art wicked, and to princes, Ye are ungodly? How much less to him that accepts not the persons of princes, nor regards the rich more than the poor, for they all are the work of his hands. In a moment shall they die, and the people shall be troubled at midnight, and pass away, and the mighty shall be taken away without hand. For his eyes are upon the ways of man, and he sees all his goings. There is no darkness, nor shadow of death where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. For he will not lay upon man more than right, that he should enter into judgment with God. He shall break in pieces mighty men without number, and set others in their stead. Therefore he knows their work, and he overturns them in the night, so that they are destroyed. He strikes them as wicked men in the open sight of others, because they turned back from him and would not consider any of his ways, so that they cause the cry of the poor to come unto him, and he hears the cry of the afflicted. When he gives quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hides his face, who then can behold him? Whether it be done against a nation or against a single man. Elihu is bringing a sense of reasoning to the conversation there. Yeah, Elihu is saying, a man is just a man, basically. That's what Elihu is saying. A man is just a man. No matter what you think you have, or how much influence or power you have, and you say you are talking to this God, if him don't want you to see him, you're not going to see him. If him don't want you to hear him, you're not going to hear him. So, I don't know if he's chastising Job or he's mocking Job. It seems to have an element of mockery to what he was saying to Job. Wanna think? That's how I feel. He went on to say that the hypocrite reign not, lest the people be ensnared. Surely it is meet to be said unto God, I have borne chastisement, I will not offend anymore. So he's, that Job is not admitting that he had done something wrong. And remember, they are all of the belief that Job must, they've got what's up. They are all of the belief that Job must have done something wrong for him to have been afflicted this badly. And Job is insisting that he hasn't done anything wrong. He has lived an upright life. So there comes the conflict. If you have lived an upright life, why your God do that to you? Why you not just admit to us and say you did do some things wrong? Because surely he would have seen you. We may not have seen you, but surely he would have. That's why he's casting this judgment on you. But Job insists that he never do nothing wrong. Because you see, his friends they didn't know of the conversation that God had with Satan. That was that conversation that was supposed to cause Job to, hey Kev, what's up? Thank you for the roses. I appreciate you, my love. Yeah, so Job is not admitting that he has done anything wrong, and that is frustrating his friends because they are adamant that he must have done something wrong. So like, why not just ask for forgiveness? Just admit, say you do something wrong, and that is why God is punishing you, rather than pretending as though you are most holy and you have never done anything wrong. Job isn't having it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little stuffy. You don't have to forgive me. Let us continue. That which I see not teach thou me. If I have done iniquity, I will do no more. I might tell Job, and that's what Elihu wants Job to say, Just say if you have done any iniquity, just say you do it already, you're not going to do it anymore. And maybe your God might have some mercy on you and cause you to get better. That's what be like a conversation that anybody would have with their friend. There is nothing like inspiring. When you say the Bible is written by men inspired by God. You think God was inspiring Job's friends to be having that conversation with Job? Do y'all think so? Oh, okay. Well, let us continue. That which I see not, thou teach me. If I have done iniquity, I will do no more. Should it be according to thy mind? He will recompense it whether thou refuse or whether thou choose, and not I. Therefore, speak what thou knowest. Let men of understanding tell me, and let a wise man hearken unto me. Job hath spoken without knowledge, and his words were without wisdom. This is Elihu. Elihu is speaking here. Elihu not in agreement with the things that Job said. He said Job speaking without wisdom. And him not like that. So he says, my desire. You hear him say, my desire. That's Elihu speaking. Elihu says, my desire is that Job may be tried unto the end because of his answers for wicked men. So Elihu basically condemned Job because he's like, you are wicked. You are a wicked man. That's why you are afflicted like this. And see there, you still want to maintain that you are an upright man, all because you want to save face. But me not believe you. Me not believe you. And he's outspoken. He's telling Job exactly how he feels. He says, for he added rebellion unto his sin. You hear that? He say Job has added rebellion unto his sins. That means that rebellion is his refusal to, in Elihu's eyes, is Job's refusal to accept that he has sins and he has sinned, and it's because of him sinning why God has caused his wrath to be on him. That's why he has all these sores and has lost everything, etc., etc. So here Elihu is saying, not only do I now see Job as a wicked man, but he adds to that his rebellion. So he might pile up more upon himself. He says, for he added rebellion unto his sin. He claps his hands among us and multiplies his words against God. That was Elihu speaking. Okay? Let us move right along. Elihu have made tell Job a piece of mind. Let's see. And he continues to speak. Elihu continues to speak. He's not done yet. Elihu is angry. Elihu says to Job, thinkest thou this to be right, that thou saidst my righteousness is more than God's? For thou saidst, what advantage will it be unto you? And what profit shall I have if I be cleansed from my sin? I will answer thee, and thy companions with thee. Look unto the heavens, and see, and behold the clouds which are higher than thou. If thou sinnest, what dost thou against him? Or if thy transgressions be multiplied, what dost thou unto him? If thou be righteous, what givest thou him? Or what receives he of thine hand? Thy wickedness may hurt a man as thou art, and thy righteousness may profit the Son of Man. By reason of the multitude of oppressions, they make the oppressed to cry. They cry out by reason of the arm of the mighty. But none says, where is God my Maker, who gives songs in the night, who teaches us more than the beasts of the earth, and makes us wiser than the fowls of heaven? Then they cry, but none gives answer, because of the pride of evil men. Surely God will not hear vanity, neither will the Almighty regard it. Although thou sayest thou shalt not see him, yet judgment is before him. Therefore trust thou in him. But now, because it is not so, he hath visited in his anger, yet he knows it not in great extremity. Therefore doth Job open his mouth in vain. He multiplies words without knowledge. Elihu is basically saying it's just a bunch of cockadoodle story that Job been saying. Job just a open up his mouth, but the wisdom now come from him mouth. That was Elihu's opinion about the whole situation. Okay, we are going to continue. Elihu not done yet. Elihu is not done with Job yet. He still got a lot more to say. And Elihu proceeds and said, "Suffer me a little, and I will show thee that I have yet to speak on God's behalf." Genevieve, what's up? You hear? He said, "Me don't speak on God's behalf yet." So you just hold on a minute there. Hold on a minute, because I'm going to get to him. I'm going to get to him in a little bit. Elihu sort of sizing up the whole situation, and he's giving his own opinions as to what he thinks is going on here. He's getting a little bit his own philosophy about what's happening with Job, and he's comparing what is happening to Job to what has happened to other people around him. He's comparing the life Job has lived with the life the other people have lived. They are in contrast, but the reward from their God seems to be the same. It is contrary and it is confusing. And Elihu is not afraid to say it. So Elihu says, "Suffer me a little, and I will show thee that I have yet to speak on God's behalf. I will fetch my knowledge from afar." You hear him say? He might go fetching knowledge from afar. So anything that he has learned prior, or any information that he has processed as it relates to God and stuff, yeah, he's gonna fetch that information from afar. "And will ascribe righteousness to my maker. For truly my words shall not be false. He that is perfect in knowledge is with thee. Behold, behold, God is mighty, and despises not any. He is mighty in strength and wisdom. He, he preserves not the life of the wicked, but gives right to the poor. He withdraws not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne. Yea, he doth establish them forever, and they are exalted. And if they be bound in fetters, and be holden in cords of affliction, then he shows them their work and their transgressions that they have exceeded. He opens also their ear to discipline, and commands that they return from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity, and their years in pleasures. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. But the hypocrite in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he binds them. They die in their youth, and their life is among the unclean. He delivers the poor in his affliction, and opens their ears in oppression. Even so would he have removed thee out of the strait into a broad place, where there is no straightness, and that which should be set on thy table should be full of fatness. But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold on thee, because there is wrath. Beware lest he take thee away with his stroke. Then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. Will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength. Desire not the night, when people are cut off in their place. Take heed, regard now iniquity, for this hast thou chosen rather than affliction. Behold, God exalteth by his power. Who teaches like him? Who hath enjoined him his way? No one. Or who can say, Thou hast wrought iniquity? Remember that thou magnify his work, which men behold. Every man may see it, man may behold it from afar off. Behold, God is great, and we know him not, neither can the number of his years be searched out. For he makes small the drops of water, they pour down rain, they pour down rain according to the vapors thereof, which the clouds do drop and distill upon man abundantly. Also, can any understand the spreadings of the clouds, or the noise of his tabernacle? Behold, he spreads his light upon it, and covers the bottom of the sea. For by them judgeth be the people. He gives meat in abundance. With clouds he covers the light, and command it not to shine by the cloud that comes betwixt. The noise thereof sheweth concerning it, the cattle also concerning the vapor. That's our whole other story where Elihu talking there. He's saying, I got responsible for all these things, the dew and the mist and the rain and all these things. He Elihu is just like the other friends of Job. They are just as conflicted. Yeah, Elihu says he's going to take this, whatever he's going to teach Job, he's going to take it from afar. It's like their olden days stories that was, Mr. West, what's up? That was handed down to them from generation to generation. Because from the beginning of time, take me, people have been theorizing how did man get here? And we have so many theories as to how we got here. Some people want to get upset because they want to say what they believe is right and what others believe is wrong. Cut that out. Because you can't prove you're right and you can't prove something you're wrong. So therefore, the wall are we right. Right, Mr. West? The wall are we right. Because unless you can prove to me that what I am saying, what I believe is wrong, you have to can prove it. If you can't prove it, you can't denounce it either. Yeah. So everybody can just believe what they want to believe and leave each other alone. I wish we could get to that day. But brother, there is no hate like Christian love. Anytime you tell one Christian say you don't believe in any fantasy story what they believe in, Lord Jesus, do not stop praying for you, ask God for do something to you. And if God forbid, are you ever go take sick after you have a conversation with them? Lord Jesus, they say yes, and judgment that take you, and gotta punish you if you don't believe in him. Why would God want to punish mankind for not believing in him? Tell me, what kind of ego trip is that God would be on, that he must punish people if them not believe in him? If you notice, as we read the Bible, as we read along the Bible, those of you who have been here and been listening, if you notice, when Moses was giving the children of Israel all these instructions, there were other people in the world, There were other people in the world, and those people were not required to obey what Moses claimed that God had told him. Those people were not included in these teachings. So those people were living their lives and doing whatever it is that they were doing, worshiping whatever it is that they were worshiping. They were not included. Why God never did say to Moses, say, get up all of the people, every human where you can find. Every human being that you can find. And this teaching that I'm giving for you is for mankind, for everybody. He never get it for everybody. He only got it for his people. You notice when we were reading the Bible, I don't remember anywhere where God was going over Syria go punish the people over Syria for not serving him. The only time the people over Syria would have faced his wrath was if they were in conflict. According to the story, would be only if they were in conflict with Israel. Otherwise, they were over there worshiping whatever they're worshiping and living their best life. And if you all notice that later on in the Bible, the Israelites, that was one of their argument for not wanting to follow the teachings of Moses anymore, because they were like, look how we are doing all of these strict rules of Moses are giving we have follow, and yet still our lives ain't getting any better. No, look over there, so look what them people, they don't do like what we are do, but look what them prosper. Look how much gold and look how much they look at their cities. Look at how much they have. So where is our God? What our God doing for us? After Moses lead the people, them tell the people them one holy pakakadoodle story. Say God tell him these things to tell the people. It wasn't for everybody. And me always ask the question as to, since God know that the soul of mankind, all mankind, would be so important, why he only wanted the children of Israel to do like his commandments and all of his will, all these wills that he gave to Moses. Why he only wanted the children of Israel to do them? Me just ask. I'm just being practical. Cause me that thing say, God are God, and if he make everybody and he want people to serve him, you don't want everybody to serve him, right? Yeah, but that thing say, but I want everybody to serve it. Just not excuse me, not just the descendant of one man. All right, so me sip like water if it clear my throat. Oh my, me again. I'm sorry, me I get stuffy. Whew. Anyway, we still are gonna read. We still are gonna continue reading. All right, Elihu has not stopped. Let me see which part him there now. We are on to chapter 37 for those of you who are just coming. All right, we are on to chapter 37. And it said, let me see who is speaking here now, because I want to see when Job is going to respond to Elihu. He says, after this also my heart trembled. Oh, Elihu is still speaking. Elihu not done with Job yet. He's not done yet. Elihu says, at this also my heart trembles and is moved out of its place. Hear attentively the noise of his voice and the sound that goes out of his mouth. He directs it under the whole heaven and is lightning unto the ends of the earth. After it a voice roars. He thunders with the voice of his excellency, and he will not stay them when his voice is heard. God thunders marvelously with his voice. Great things doth he, which we cannot comprehend. For he saith to the snow, be thou on the earth, likewise to the small rain, and to the great rain of his strength. He seals up the hand of every man, and all men, that all men may know his work. Then the beasts go into dens and remain in their places. Out of the south comes the whirlwind, comes the whirlwind, and cold out of the north. By the breath of God frost is given, and the breath of the waters is straightened. Also by watering, he wearies the thick cloud. He scatters his bright cloud, and it is turned round about by his counsels. that they may do whatsoever he commands them upon the face of the world in the earth. He causes it to come, whether for correction, or for his land, or for mercy. Hearken, hearken unto this, O Job. Stand still and consider the wondrous works of God. Dost thou know when God disposes them and cause the light of his cloud to shine? Dost thou know the balancings of the clouds, the wondrous works of him which is perfect in knowledge? How thy garments are warm when he quicketh the earth by the south wind? Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten looking glass? Teach us what we shall say unto him, for we cannot order our speech by reason of darkness. Shall it be told him that I speak? If a man speak, surely he shall be swallowed up. You don't understand that, right? You know, say it was always considered to be presumptuous for the people to even openly question the doctrine that they were taught. But here Elihu said, him not really care. What am I going to do to me now? He said, shall it be told him that I speak? If a man speak, surely he shall be swallowed up. Yeah, so that was the order of the time. If you speak up, if you question God, if you question God's presence, his existence, yeah, there was a serious punishment for you. So here, Elihu said, hey, what am I going to do to me? Them usually swallow people if them speak up. But may I speak up right now? So, oh well. Is other form of rebellion. And Elihu continues and he says, and now men see not the bright light which is in the clouds, but the wind passes and cleanses them. Fair weather cometh out of the north. With God is terrible majesty. Touching the Almighty, we cannot find him out. He is excellent in power and in judgment, and in plenty of justice he will not afflict. Men do therefore fear him. He respects not any that are wise of heart. He's still chastising Job because he's still saying that Job need to just accept that he's just a man and he did something wrong and just accept his fate. So that's why Elihu is talking so much. All of those verses there was Elihu's king. Let me see if him continue to speak. Chapter 28, people. We are on to chapter 28. Those of you who are just coming, we are on to the book of Job. So chapter 28, he says, then the Lord answered. All right. So now, them said the Lord answer. All right. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Who and says, who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge? All right, I guess he's talking about Elihu. I don't know, but let's continue reading. We'll figure it out. It says, God answered to Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer to me. Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding. Who hath laid the measures thereof? If you know, or who hath stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstones thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut up the sea with doors, when it brake forth, as if it had issued out of the womb. When I made the cloud the garment thereof, and the thick darkness a swaddling band for it, and break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors, and said, Hitherto shalt thou come, but no further, and here shall thy proud waves be stayed, as thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the day spring to show his place, to know his place. Answer me, Job. Exactly. Exactly. He wants an answer. Now, this here, some people, this now would be, as we continue here, so would be, there's the Lord speaking. That it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it. It is turned as clay to the seal, and they stand as a garment, and from the wicked their light is withholden, and the high arm shall be broken. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the depth? Have the gates of death been opened unto thee, or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Declare if thou knowest it all. Where is the way where light dwells? And as for darkness, where is the place thereof? That thou shouldest take it to the bound thereof, and that thou shouldest know the path of the house thereof. Knowest thou it? Like, do you know it, Job? Because thou wast then born, or because the number of thy days are great? All right, you know these things because you were born at the time when them happened, or have you acquired this knowledge throughout your life? And that is said the Lord asked Job. Hast thou entered into the treasures of the snow, or hast thou seen the treasures of the hail, which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war? By what way is the light parted, which scatters the east wind upon the earth? Who hath divided a watercourse for the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning of thunder? To cause it to rain on the earth where no man is, on the wilderness wherein there is no man, to satisfy the desolate and wasted ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth. Hath the rain a father, or who hath begotten the drops of dew? Out of whose womb came the ice, and the hoary frost of heaven? Who hath gendered it? The waters are hidden as with a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or lost the bands of Orion? Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season? Or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons? Knowest thou the ordinance of heaven? Canst thou set the dominion thereof in the earth? Canst thou lift up thy voice to the clouds, that abundance of waters may cover thee? Canst thou send lightnings, that they may go, and say unto thee, Here we are? Mrs. Bunny, what's up? Happy Rose, what's up? What are you doing, love? Good morning. Exactly, God. That is some serious questions. That is some serious questions according to the book, the Bible here. I gotta ask Job them question there. Let us continue. Him say, Who hath put wisdom in the inward parts? Or who hath given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds in wisdom? or who can stay the bottles of heaven? When the dust grows into hardness, and the clods cleave fast together, wilt thou hunt the prey for the lion, or fill the appetite of the young lion? When they couch in their den, and abide in the covert to lie in wait, who provides for the raven his food? When his young ones cry unto God, they wander for lack of meat. All right. Want to hear that? All right. So we are going to continue. Him love him in. A true God. He talk a lot about this inward parts. It's rather interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm always talking about the inward parts. We may as well just finish reading the book of Job this morning. Right, people? Yeah, we may as well just finish reading before we go on my bed. All right, let us continue. We are on to chapter 39. All right, this is supposed to be the Lord continues to speak to Job. All right. He said, knowest thou the time when the wild goats of the rock bring forth? Or canst thou mark when the hinds do cave? Cave or calve? Whichever one. Let's continue. Knowest thou the time when the wild goats of the rock bring forth? Or canst thou mark when the hinds do calve? Canst thou number the months that they fulfill? Or knowest thou the time when they bring forth? They bow themselves. They bring forth their young ones. They cast out their sorrows. Their young ones are in good liking. They grow up with corn. They go forth, and return not unto them. Who hath sent out the wild ass free? Or who hath loosened the bands of the wild ass? Whose house Whose house I have made the wilderness, and the barren land is dwelling. He scorns the multitude of the city, neither regards he the crying of the driver. The range of the mountains is his pasture, and he searches after every green thing. Excuse me. Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee, or abide by thy crib? Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow? Or will he harrow the valleys after thee? Wilt thou trust him, because his strength is great? Or wilt thou leave thy labor to him? Wilt thou believe him, that he will bring home thy seed, and gather it into thy barn? Did you give the godly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leaves her egg in the earth, and warms them in dust, and forget that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them? So why make it sound as though unicorn are real creatures? They must have gone extinct. They must have gone extinct, God. Because you're not talking about unicorns, so maybe unicorns are not mythical after all. Yeah, them just gone in exile. Let us continue. Verse 16, he says, she is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because God hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. What time she lifts up herself on high, she scorns the horse and his rider. Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou closed his neck with thunder? Canst thou make him afraid as a grasshopper? The glory of his nostrils is terrible. He paused in the valley. and rejoice in his strength. He goes on to meet the armed men. He mocked at fair, and is not affright. Neither, neither turned he back from the sword. The quiver rattles against him, the glittering spear and the shield. He swallows the ground with fierceness and rage. Neither believes he that it is the sound of the trumpet. He saith among the trumpets, Ha ha! The trumpet of the captains, and the shouting. Doth the hawk fly by thy wisdom, and, and stretch her wings towards the south? Doth the eagle mount up at thy command, and make her nest on high? She dwells and abides on the rock, upon the crag of the rock, and the strong place. From thence she seek the prey, and her eyes behold afar off. Her young ones also suck up blood, and where the slain are, there is she. Andrea, good morning, my love. How you doing? We are continuing to read the book of Job. We are finishing the book of Job this morning. Yeah. So we have read Elihu's chastisement of Job, and now we are reading where he says the Lord is telling Job, who is that man who is talking with no wisdom? So apparently the Lord is telling Job that all that Elihu just said is a bunch of gibberish. It don't make no sense. So now God is asking Job all these questions. You know anything about the mountain? You know who make the ostrich, who make the ostrich lay egg in the ground and cover it up with dirt? Do you know? Do you know who make the clouds to thin out and fly away? Do you know who makes them gather up with water and spill water even into the deserted places? All these things, the Lord is asking Job. All right, so we are go. Well, yes, if I in a dream or nightmare. To be honest with you, it not say right here, so say whether or not it's a dream or not. But it said the Lord talking to Job at this point here. So we are gonna move on to verse 40. To chapter 40. Sorry guys. To chapter 40. And we are gonna just finish reading the book of Job today. Okay. Alright. So in chapter 40, he says, alright, this is the Lord still talking to Job. It says, moreover, the Lord answered Job and said, shall he that contendeth with the Almighty instruct him? He that reproves God, let him answer it. Then Job answered the Lord and said, behold, I am vile. No, this is Job talking. Yes, God, out of the whirlwind. Oh yeah, out of the whirlwind, God I talk to Job. Not a one dream, they say out of one whirlwind. All right, let us continue. Shall he that contends with the Almighty instruct him? He that reproves God, let him answer it. Then Job answered the Lord and said, behold, I am vile. Angie, what's up? I am vile. What shall I answer thee? I will lay my hand upon my mouth. Once have I spoken, but I will not answer. Yea, twice, but I will proceed no further. Then answered the Lord unto Job out of the whirlwind, and said, gird up thy loins now like a man. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. Wilt thou also disannul my judgment? Wilt thou condemn me, that thou mayest be righteous? Hast thou an arm like God? Or canst thou thunder with a voice like him? Deck thyself now with majesty and excellence, and array thyself with glory and beauty. Okay, AG, I appreciate you, my love. I appreciate you. Even though me see you call to your girlfriend by name. So me a what, chop liver? Let us continue, lovely people. People on the tube, you see how much I want they here? Why the likes not reflecting all of you were there here? Me know AG, you're gonna go around and say hi to everybody and not say hi to me because you want me to be jealous. Me sound sick, me feel sick too. But you know the show have to go on. So me kinda stuffy. Yeah. See? That the nose they stuff up completely. Yeah, me Jamaican. A two nose. My nostrils. But that one there, well stuff up. A man me want, I see him thing. Some tell me yesterday. I see him thing. Some tell me yesterday, say a man me want. Then I which man know would I take the sickness from me. So that me not get sick. Then when I just take it. Which part him there? No man not do that. Me not make one man take his sickness from me right now. But nothing else. Nothing else. That's all. You out of luck, man. You out of luck. You keep a man with me, star. Me know that. Me know that. You keep a man with me. Let me continue. Let me continue reading. For those of you who are just... Hold on there. Who this? Anyway. They say me I get too much bad juice. I say me not get none at all. Me not get none at all, me love. But me continue. Let me did there. Cast abroad the rage of thy wrath, and behold everyone that is proud and abase him. Look on everyone that is proud, and bring him low, and tread down the wicked in their place. Hide them in the dust together, and bind their faces in secret. Then will I also confess unto thee that thine own right hand can save thee. Behold now Behemoth, which I made with thee. He eats grass as an ox. Oh, so the Behemoth are like one big cow cod. Maybe like the ancient what them animal the name out of Yellowstone. Like a big bison them? Yeah. He says, Behold now Behemoth, which I made with thee. He eats grass like an ox. Lo now, his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moves his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. As stones, them they don't say the sinews are in bones. Why them say stones? The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are as strong pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. He is the chief of the ways of God. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. Surely the mountains bring him forth food, where all the beasts of the field play. He lieth under the shady trees, in the covert of the reed and fens. The shady trees cover him with their shadow. The willows of the brook compass him about. Behold, he drinks up a river, and hasteth not. He trusteth that he can draw up Jordan into his mouth. He takes it with his eyes. His nose pierceth through snares. All right. He might talk about the behemoth, whatever that big animal, they were like an ox. Okay. Let us move right along. Chapter 41. We're moving right along into chapter 41. I feel like more sneeze, but the sneeze not come. Chapter 41 says, too early for this, too early. Alright, Miss Bunny, how you doing? Alright, let us continue. Chapter 41 says, canst thou draw out Leviathan? Leviathan, remember when we had read about Leviathan, the evil creature while living at the sea? Alright, he said, canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet for him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fishing spears? Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment? Or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. One is so neat to another that no air can come between them. He's talking about the Leviathan. That is some creature that the Bible talks about that lives in the depths of the sea. And this is giving us the description of the Leviathan. Some other parts in the Bible it talks about the Leviathan and how he's able to live under the sea and to walk on land and how his scales are sealed together and no air can go in it and all of that stuff. So that's, for those of you who don't know, that's what he's describing here, the Leviathan. Let us continue. He says, they are joined one to another. They stick together, that they cannot be sundered. By his... Hold on. Let me erase this. I can't see what this... By his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out of his mouth. Out of his nostrils goes smoke, as out of a seething pot or a cauldron. His breath kindles coals, as in, a coal like coal fire. Yeah. Wow. His breath kindles coal. That means his breath is so hot, it will cause the coal to ignite. His breath kindles coals, and a flame goes out of his mouth. In his neck remains strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raises up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the abajon. None of them they can pierce the skin of the Leviathan. That's what he's saying. That's how strong the Leviathan is. That's that creature sound like one merman. Exactly. Nothing can pierce his skin. He has smoke coming out of his nose and fire coming out of his mouth. His breath is so hot, he could start a fire. All right. So she says that means mermaids and mermans exist. Well, could be. You hear, according to the Bible, as said the Lord talk about the unicorn. And you know, all my life growing up, I was told that the unicorn is a mythical creature. So it look like it did exist for you, right, Michibu? Happy Sunday to you, my love. How you doing? Watch out. When I came, there was a car there. I know the car. No, not that little car, one different car. But no, the car gone. But not even you see it now here when it drive out. But no, it gone. But me not see if you car so maybe. But me and her work opposite. So like how me work, she don't work. So she probably gone out. But I said me have my charger. Yeah, my charger there right here. So me dey charge the phone them before me start the live. So and we're not gonna go long this morning because me have to go. Me I go wash me hair. I did for yesterday wash me hair, but me I go wash it again. See if it can help me get rid of the stuffiness. Yes, man, me stuffy. One night me a sneeze. So me I go try to put some calaga water upon my head and stuff and see if when me sleep and wake up, me feel better. If when me sleep and me wake up, me feel better, me go to work. If me sleep and me wake up and me don't feel better, me nah better go. Yeah, because I don't wanna get the people at work sick. Yeah. Me don't know where me pick up this from. Even though it's got to be from them. Because me don't go nowhere, me don't go a store, me don't go nowhere. So whatever it is, it's got to be from them. But let us continue. Here in the Bible describing this creature here. I am at Michibu, I am at Job chapter 41. I am at Job chapter 41, love bug. Alright, he says, darts are counted as stubble. Well, let me read the next one. Verse 27 says, he esteems iron as straw and brass as rotten wood. That means that the Levitian, him can broke a piece of iron just like one piece of twig, like a piece of straw. And brass, him can bend up brass like it is piece of rotten wood. That's how strong he is. Verse 28, he says, the arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laughs at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreads sharp pointed things upon the mare. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He makes a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary, Upon earth there is not his like. There is nothing like him on earth. Oh wow. Who is made without fear. He beholds all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride. So this Leviathan is some kind of evil. It's some kind of evil spirit, and it's some kind of magical creature at the same time. That's my understanding. Because it say he behold all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride. Yeah, Job 41. And here we get the description of this Leviathan creature. Yeah, and we are going to read the last verse of Job. We're going to read the last chapter. You say, if I like alien, could be. Could be, because this creature, he say live in the sea. This creature, he says, it lives in the sea. But it is capable of living both in the sea and on earth. There is nothing like him on the earth, nothing like him in the sea. And all of this. And he says he is the king over all the children of pride. We are going to continue. So that now would have been the Lord who just talked to Job through the whirlwind. Okay? So now make we hear what Job's answer is going to be. And Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from thee. Who is he that hides counsel without knowledge? Therefore have I uttered that I understood not, things too wonderful for me, which I knew not. All right, so Job kind of hitting back, say, the Lord want to kind of chastise him. The Lord want to chastise him, but he must say, you don't need to chastise me, star, cause you give me knowledge and you don't tell me where me get it from. When me confused, me can't find you to help me with the confusion. Oh, that. You hear him? This is what Job says. Job says, who is he that hides counsel without knowledge? Therefore have I uttered that I understood not, things too wonderful for me, which I knew not. Exactly. Exactly. Job I said, me don't know, I doubts come up in my mind because there was no way I could not prove all this thing. The pressure was on me to prove all this. I could not prove it. So if you were there at all, why you leave me in this predicament? Who gives somebody knowledge but not stay around to make sure, say, them grasp the concept properly? So Job is stating, he's frustrated. Let us continue. He says, hear, I beseech thee, and I will speak. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. I have heard of thee by the hearing of the ear, but now my eyes have seen thee. Wherefore I hate myself, and repent in dust and ashes. Give Job wisdom but no understanding. Exactly. And that get Job cross mad and miserable. Because him like, yeah, make me look like a fool in front of the people them. Because me I tell my friend them what me believe, but me can't prove it to them. And when me I call upon you for come help me out, me can't find you. So now you come appear to me in the whirlwind. So now I can say I see you. Christopher, what's up? What are you doing? Good morning to you. Let us continue. Verse 7, and it was so that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, my wrath is kindled against thee. Excuse me. So now God makes with Eliphaz. But the Lord not supposed to mix with Eliphaz. Because all I see Eliphaz was trying to do was help his friend. And I thought he was being as practical as he could be. Based on what he thought he knew or what he was taught. Yeah. So make we hear how the Lord know they go cuss out Eliphaz. And the Lord turned to Eliphaz and says, my wrath is kindled against thee and against your two friends. For he have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job has. God say, "Unu not talk nicely about me. Unu not talk nicely about me. So, unu not talk nicely about me. Unu no write, carry news articles nicely about me. So therefore, me I go, me I go revoke no access to the press room." God say, his wrath is kindled against Eliphaz, Zophar, and Bildad. Because them not talk nice about him like Job. No. Exactly, God. Exactly. You got that right. Because, me like, why would the Lord be so angry at the men who were only asking practical questions? Why am I gonna tell the man them say, "Me beg so don't know, me not chat to no," because I want me like petty much, yeah. So all right, he revoke them press access. So so them they cannot come back in the press room. Let us continue. Verse 80 says, therefore take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer up for yourselves a burnt offering. Eliphaz, this and the three friend them gotta tell this, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. So them fi go carry 7 bullocks and 7 ram and carry them go to Job, go sacrifice. And offer up for yourselves a burnt offering. And my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept, lest I deal with you after your folly, in that he have not spoken of me the thing which is right, like my servant Job. Oh my God, ask so petty. What ya? No, exactly, God. Why am I act so petty? Now, if the people said something about you that wasn't right, you almighty, you all powerful. What's up with this? That they gotta go make a sacrifice for you to forgive them? Like seriously? But the Bible says one of me. Let us continue. So Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamanite went and did according as the Lord commanded them. The Lord also accepted Job. And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters. All the story just ends so. All his brethren and all his sisters and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. So the Lord blessed the latter, and of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep. Because before him did have what? 7,000? So now he have 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels and 1,000 yoke of oxen and 1,000 she asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he called the name of the first Jemima. Oh, Aunt Jemima. Who didn't know Aunt Jemima in the Bible? Who didn't know somebody in the Bible too? Did it? Somebody in the Bible named Elon. Who didn't know so? Big Red, what's up? Who didn't know? Who go and go look it up? Yeah, somebody in the Bible named Elon. Truly, truly. You don't believe me? Put in a Google and put Elon in the Bible and see if the Bible not tell you. So one man did in the Bible name. So I swear, you don't laugh like a joke. I swear it's true. Seriously. I saw it, I think I saw it in the book of Numbers. If memory serves me right. I think I saw it. How you doing, Big Red? How you doing? Albi, what's up, my love? Yeah, truly. Because the friends' light bulbs radiate the situation about Job's condition, causing unanswered question that Job not answered. And all right. So may I say why it would have vexed God? I same thing me I say, Andrea. May I say like why it would have vexed God that the friend them ask relevant question? Can me never see the question them as being offensive. Me not ask them the question there too. Somebody say one of God's name is Elion. Really? What the person went on the Bible name Elon? What was his purpose in the Bible? Me not remember. Me have it written on that one book, but me not have the book with me. Yeah. So make us continue. Verse 12. So the Lord blessed the latter, and of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels and 1,000 yoke of oxen and 1,000 she asses. He had also 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he called the name of the first Jemima, and the name of the second he called Keziah, and the name of the third he called Keren Hapush. And in all the land were no women found so fair as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them inheritance among their brethren. After this lived Job 140 years, and saw his sons and his sons' sons, even 4 generations. So Job died, being old and full of days. All right. The story kind of end kind of dry still. This story could have a little bit more meat tonight. You know what I mean? Georgia, what's up? Yeah, the story could have a little bit more meat in it. You know what I mean? How the story just take us to a high and then suddenly just drops. It suddenly just drops. And here we just stop. It just stops. So God just come out of one whirlwind and chastise the 3 friends and then restore Job. Me didn't want to hear God have one conversation now with Satan. You understand? Close all the loops in the story. Yeah, me didn't want to hear God now have one conversation with Satan. Like Satan will come back and say, what is you do? I didn't have my hand on this, you know. This was, yeah. How many years is full of days? Exactly, Andrea. I still, after having read the whole book of Job, I still don't see what was the point. Me not see the point of the affliction for Job. I don't see it. You enlighten me there. Because maybe too much coal gone up in my head. Because just, Andrea, I mean, I totally agree with you, my love. I do not, me not see the purpose, or the book not explain it to me as to what was the purpose of Job, of God allowing Satan to afflict Job this terribly. I know me not see why me not get it. Me don't get it. And then for the story to just end like that and God not having another conversation with Satan, it leaves a lot of questions and no answers. And these are the things that make these stories so undesirable. Nobody wants to believe these stories because a straight up fiction. A straight up fiction. Yeah. Because what's the point? You saw him off for years, and for years, maybe those are the pages that are taken. No, you could be right. You could be right, my dear. Because the story really did end dry. So where is the rest? Why God not having no more conversation? Why Job is not saying anything else? To this God will come out of the whirlwind, come deliver him all on a sudden. You know, why? I don't know the story already. The story already, in my estimation. I don't can try to convince me otherwise, but based on what I hear, so the story end too dry, too suddenly. I still want to know what I said to Satan. This is my son. He's on to my covering. You can't touch him, and there's nothing you can do about it. But then again, I'm only exactly that's what you wanted to say. That's what I would have expected, that God would have a conversation. So what's the point of the whole story? That's the same thing I'm saying. That's the same thing I am saying. What is story? What have I learned from the story? Some people say you're supposed to learn resilience and faithfulness. This and faithfulness not cut it for me, because yeah, I'm serious. I know you're seriously asking. I'm asking too, my love. I'm serious. I'm asking too. A man, a good man. Let me just break down the story. A man who is considered to be a good man, a holy man, an upright man. Miss Thing, what's up? Him, God ever send Satan, tell Satan to do anything with him but not take his life. So Satan go ahead and he strip this man of everything that he has. Slay his daughters and his sons. Everything, what's up? Slay his daughters and his sons. Send thief to come take away all animal them and slay his servants and everything, and then cover him over with sore. And Job's friends now come to see him. Job has been reduced from his might and power and respect in his community. He is reduced to nothing. He is reduced to the most scorned person around. And everybody now is looking down on him when everybody used to look up on him. Up to him. And now everybody looking down on him because of all that has befallen them. What the people have been taught is that only wicked people end up like this. So his friends come to visit him, and each of them have their own argument as to why they believe this has befallen Job, because in their experience, only wicked people have them wicked experiences here. So while they are saying to Job, you must have done something wrong, just admit it and say you must have done something wrong, ask for forgiveness or whatever so you can be restored. Job insists that he had never done anything wrong. So his friends stay with him and they go back and forth. Then there was Elihu. We don't know what was the point of showing Elihu in this story. Elihu was just another man who was there with a big mouth. So Elihu said, well, you know what? Me know saying you me talking and me might be put to death, but me I go talk anyway. What you do a foolishness. Me don't respect what you do. I mean, I understand how your God give you so much wisdom, but you can't go back to him, go ask him. No question. How you get your guidance from him. So Elihu wasn't afraid to say his piece. And then all of a sudden, God choked back through a whirlwind and tell Job, you know, it was good that he listened to them, and he might go chastise the friends and wish them harm and wish them death and wish them everything, because they did not, because they were saying something contrary to what Job was saying. So now they have to carry animals. They had to carry animals come sacrifice in front of Job so that they can be forgiven for the arguments that they put forth in opposition to the argument that Job had put forth. Then all of a sudden, God restored everything Job had. Animal by the double and children and everything by the double. But me not hear God have no more conversation with Satan. And his story done. His story done wraps. Yeah, I was hoping there would be another conversation, but it has left us hanging a little bit. Kind of, yeah. So maybe somewhere else in the Bible. The HB, what's up? Maybe somewhere else in the Bible there might be another conversation between God and the devil as to what has happened with Job. But some buy it and some sell it. Me don't put no brought up on it. I was. Oh, the HB. Oh, TikTok is glitching. You know, say me see TikTok keep on going dark and coming back, going dark and coming back. Elihu. Elihu sound like a downright Jamaican, exactly. Elihu said, me don't say on might slay me, because you see, that was the order of the day when people spoke out about the doctrine that they were being taught, when people asked questions. Because they had no answers for the people, they would end up unaliving the people. Because how dare you ask any question? And that's why I say that had to have been a cult. When people can't ask no question, because if you ever ask any question, but Elihu was just over it. He was just tired of seeing Job. Maybe Elihu was drunk. I know say there's a drunk man speak the truth. Maybe Elihu was a drunk Jamaican. As Elihu just said, me know so they might slay me for this, but me just have to tell you the truth. Where I go on with a foolishness? We don't get it. How comes the man give you direction and you can't go back to him and ask him nothing? Yeah, you're moving out, understanding, brother. Yeah. The HB. It's in the HB there. The HB, you have one channel? Because a lot of people over here, they don't have no channel, but they are great supporters. And I appreciate y'all. Yes, beautiful. This is like a movie that Georgette, if you was a little nearer me, shake your hand. Exactly. It's like is like, oh yeah, I'm a Libra twin. You know, delighted me get when we see my Libra twins around these places. I can't say the story is like a bridge to nowhere. That's true. The story no story at all. He left me just as confused. And I hear throughout the whole book, Job say he's confused. He's confused. But he's still holding on to what I'm holding on to, because he say, well, who is going to tell me I'm a liar? Who is going to check me? If I live till the end of time, there'll be nobody to check me. And when I die, there'll be nobody to check me. So, well, me I go just go and work with a doctrine here. And uno go and work with what uno work with. Right now, some church is like that. You can't ask nothing. I chew win some. Oh, are you that? Oh. Yeah. Right now, yeah, some churches are like that. Whenever you ask questions, you are the devil and you question God, because they know there have to be questions. They know, they themselves who have sat down behind the scenes and read the Bible, they know that people have to have questions. And that is why they always go up on pulpit and tell you, don't you ever dare question God. Whatever God do is well done. Don't you ever question. Because they use these things as a way to bamboozle you, as a way to get you to never ask any questions. When me ask, why was there a change in the doctrine, they say me a devil. Because if God says he might give the people them these laws, and he want these people to live by these laws forever and ever through generation and generation, and Moses says so, you know. And Moses says so, God tell him, you know, from generation to generation to generation. And then here comes the New Testament, and they say, okay, now, Jesus' son come now, come die if you no sin. So why you still a sin? Why? Why does sin persist? Because the only thing that I would see that was taken away is that the people them now carry, now come sacrifice 1 million animal every day. That's the only thing we see. But if you say no, all of our sins are forgiven, why we still a sin, and why we still have to go back go pray every day for forgiveness of this sin? That's so like when I have me by the balls and draw me and a twiggle round my shaft, brother. I can't manage it. Oh, yes, a TikTok can get off. So yeah, cause TikTok glitch. So then people only hear part of the story. Yeah, it remains quite questionable. I mean, a lot of people don't like to hear when I read and question the things that I'm reading. So if you don't get triggered, yeah, all I have to do is just not stop by here, because I'm always going to ask the question. It's the same like how Elihu said, boy, I know some might slave if they ask them questions here now. But this is just how I see it. All of it not making sense to me. But just I tell you that straight up. I mean, I put my mouth on ground and say it. That was Elihu's position, because he was so frustrated. What was said is that he died for our sins, past, present, and future. Not that he died so that we wouldn't sin again. Say, Wara. Listen, me that hurt me. She said, what was said is that he died for our sins, past, present, and future sin. So if he died for our sin, past, present, and future sin, we shouldn't have to go back. We shouldn't even have to about sin again. And we shouldn't have to go back and pray again for forgiveness, because he already died and took it all away. The story not storying. Somebody says, then why are we still sinning? Great question. That's the same question I'm asking. Somebody says, Lord, what a question. We sin because we have not accepted Jesus Christ. Joe, make we continue. Let us continue. We have too much longer left here. We just we sin because we have not accepted Jesus Christ. You accept him. You not sin. Take a little chance. Sit back and ask yourself that question. Because it's all like you accept him. So if you accept him, tell me if you sin. So therefore, something either wrong with your sinning or with your acceptance. And that was the same thing. That was the same thing Job's friends were saying to Job. That, listen, you claim to be this righteous, this upright man. And we have been taught that righteous men are never afflicted with this kind of stuff. Only the wicked gets afflicted with this type of stuff. So you must have done something behind the scenes that nobody knows about. That's why God is punishing you like this. Relevant question. Relevant question. So it's like you now saying we sin because we don't accept Christ. I'm sure say you probably claim say you accept Christ. And you probably I mean me not have to ask nobody. Me not ask Christ if you are a sinner. So what went wrong right there, sir? Because the math ain't mathing. Somebody say, if that is the case, hell should be empty. Exactly. Exactly. In that case, hell should be empty because if Jesus died for every sin, past, present, and future, then there should be no hell. Nobody never go on no hell because him died for every sin. So him absorb all of that. Somebody said, Jesus died for our sins. So I keep asking the question, there should be no more sin around. Exactly. Exactly. If he died for the sins and he took them all away, all the way to Calvary, all the way to Calvary, he went for me. He went to Calvary, take all of the sins from everybody, and went to Calvary. Why are we still sinning? Why are we still being chastised for sinning? That's a great question. I remember I told you a few days ago that this book of Job here was going to be very thought stimulating. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, if that is the case, if you take away all of the sin them, past, present, and future, what am I doing? What am I doing praying for forgiveness? He already take care of that sin. Whatever it is or whatever it is going to be. So somebody here says, say, I'll come back and explain later. Let's ask God for guidance. Okay, go ahead and ask God for guidance. And when you get the guidance, go share it with me. Because I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. Somebody asked, so what were they accepted? What was it that they accepted before Christ? That's a great question. That's a great question, my love. Me not have the answer. Me don't know what they did accept before Christ. Would that be? Well, I guess before that they did all this sacrificing, didn't they? Because like with Job, in Job's time, they did a lot of sacrificing. It was not until afterwards in the New Testament where the sacrificing started to be outlawed. And I don't think it's because of anything. Just because the people don't realize, the people don't come up with this thing. And then them realize, say, you know, so this not feasible. This not sustainable, you know. This not sustainable. Every day people get up a slay a whole heap of animal. Times are changing. This not sustainable for a slay animal morning, noon, and night. In the tabernacle stink with the heap of dung and blood and everything and all this. What kind of life this way I live? Yeah, it wasn't until people then started asking questions and started drifting away. And then I believe the elders looked at it and said, you know what's something? It look like we did wrong, you know. We have to go change this up because if we keep on doing this, we're not going to have no children of Israel left. Because you know, say everybody they run away. You know, say everybody gone. The people them not put up with this no more. So we have to change the strategy. So then change the strategy now and say, virgin have baby. What kind of precedent would God be saying? Would God be presenting when him sure say him impregnate a little pitney? I don't even know how old Mary was. Mary was probably 10 by them time there. I don't even know. So I don't know what kind of example that. And I'm going to take it and say, oh, it was spiritual. Then if it's spiritual, as it come to me mind now, if it was spiritual, God shouldn't have to defile a little teenage pitney, a little pitney body What was the point of that? What was the point of defiling a child's body to say his son was born of a virgin? Why couldn't they just make his son? Like on did make on the same did make Adam and Eve. Why they just make his son? Why did Afi cause another man wrath because his wife pregnant and cause the pregnancy of a child? Can't tell me no say a little pitney them. I don't know big old woman. A little pitney. Why would it be that yeah? Could I just get some dirt and just make Jesus? Hey, not your truth seeker. I make up story, of course. Of course I make up story. I make up story. Mommy not ask nobody that. I make up story. Somebody say, he will have a visit from the whirlwind tonight and come tell you in the yes, even Job vex, cause Job say, look from when me there they suffer. And look from when me there they wonder say where you're there. If you come answer my questions. I know you're gonna come show up through a whirlwind. Listen, I told me I tell you truth seeker. Now yeah, I'm made up thing. It is. See they can say and just say, do they eat the meat of animal used for sacrifices? So the priests, anything you want to say truth seeker, I appreciate you, my friend. Yes, the priest, because I remember Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. In Leviticus, I believe, they were talking about the meat that they give, Aaron's sons. Aaron and his sons were the priests. Yeah, there's a part in, I think, Leviticus that said they ate the meat. Them take off the cord off of the liver, the cord off of the kidney, and them they then dash away the dung and like the skin and stuff of the animals. Them throw that outside of their camp. And then the rest of the meat, them burning at the tabernacle, sprinkle the blood all about and burn the meat and then eat it. Them eat the meat. Even that ritual seems questionable. But religion is something that people have sought after from the beginning of time. That's why Moses didn't come up with the idea of the Garden of Eden. Moses adopted that ideology and Moses used it on the children of Israel. But I never knew it was an ancient Egyptian theory that's how the world came about. And Moses take it and popularize it with the children of Israel. Yeah, because everybody who has ever thought about how we got here came up with some kind of theory. And since you can't prove say your theory are true, and me can't prove say my theory is true, the whole of the theory true. Yeah, the whole of it true. And that is why you see, even now, it is conflicting among Christians. It is conflicting amongst them. They themselves don't even know whether they're going or they're coming. Because if you look at it, all of them are using the same Bible. They are reading the same book. And yet there are 50,000 denominations in Christianity alone. 50,000 denominations. And they have the one textbook. All of them claim to have the same God. They claim to have the same Satan that negatively influenced them. They believe the reward for them believing or doing whatever is in the Bible is that they are going to go up in the sky, up into some fictitious place in the sky. They're going to come back from the dead or something like that. And the place for the punishment for not believing is some kind of hell where there is fire burning. Mental manipulation. cause you to live in fear, unafraid of our own self, unafraid of our own shadow. Religion used to manipulate and control the man. Of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. That's what it was used for. I'm sure that people wanted to know, genuinely to know, how did we get here? But who was going to tell them how we get here? How were they going to know if it wasn't that they were going to have to theorize it? And that is why there are so many different theories about how we got here. Because everybody can theorize, but nobody can prove. People who roll over the people control the narrative. Exactly. Exactly. Because if me want to have you as my slave, and that is profitable for me to have you as my slave, do you think I am going to tell you that slavery is wrong? Do you think I am going to tell you that it is wrong for me to whoop you? And if I whoop you, what I was reading in the book of Numbers, if I whoop you today and you die within 2 days, then me have to go answer to God about you, something like that. But if me whip you and you die in a 2 days, you go back on the field, go work until you pass your place again. I mean, Lord help me soul. Hold on there. Mr. Bush won't get for me case, me charger. Exactly. You see what I mean? Until me have to whoop you again. What kind of stuff is that? Where this now? Pardon me, the people. Yeah. See me, I'm not. You see about that time about to go and go get charger. Like you think, say me I stay here all day. Pardon my language. It's a good thing that I'm dropping on my phone. Yeah. So, alright, see me there. Alright, that's a charge. Yeah, alright, I could go and talk a little bit more. Right, Bertel? Yeah. So, so we are left with a lot of questions. Job's story end perhaps just like many other stories in the Bible. And like Mitchie Boo said, I must depart them out of the Bible where them take out. But that could be because remember, John say all the things that happened, they could have never hold in a one book. So that's why they had to downsize and size down. Somebody say too many theories indeed. Exactly. Them say science and evolution, human evolving, exactly. Everybody come up with them own theory, and nobody can prove for them theory right. That's why I say at this point we just have to appreciate the differences in theories. Because you can't tell me if I'm wrong, and me can't tell you if you're wrong, because none of us can prove it. All we can do is pick at it and try to see the holes in the story, the holes that would make the story not humanly possible. And if it's not humanly possible, it not happen to humans, because anything that can happen to one human can happen to any human. So if something cannot happen to one human, it cannot happen to any. Yeah. Some say. Yeah. But yeah. All we have to do is love one another and do good. That is my point exactly. Love each other and do good. Because the things that we have for certain, the thing just like Job said, irrefutable, the one thing is that we are all going to lay in the darkness. Listen, Job said, we are alive now and we don't understand. We don't understand how we are alive. We don't understand how we got here. We don't understand nothing. But the one thing that he know for sure is that we are all going to go lay down in the darkness. That means we are all, none of us leaving out of here alive. That is true. So that was like Job acknowledging that, boy, I mean, I really know, because how could he? He's human. How could he? Him not know. Him just accept this premise. Him just accept it, but he don't know. But do you think man need instructions to do good, or are we wicked and wild by nature? Oh, that is a good question. Um, I don't think we should have to need instructions to be good people. But the same way how the ability to be good is intertwined with the ability to be bad, we cannot escape it. We cannot escape either. Before before all of this, when Moses said God tell him, there wasn't any, I don't see anywhere else in the Bible where it said God told the people how to live. Remember? He met the Adam and the Eve according to the Bible, don't remember? The Adam, the Adam and the Eve, the Adam and Eve, they were come out. That is what I think religion does. Give people structure, a rule book and principles to live by. This rule book and these principles, but you dare not ask any question. Yeah, but they dare not ask any question. Now remember, after Adam and Eve, right up to the flood, do you see anywhere in the Bible where it said that God gave them instructions as to how to live, what to do and what not to do? The only time before that I heard anything like that, but when it said him said they must eat of the fruit. But other than that, they didn't get any instructions as to, they teach fear. They teach fear, exactly. Because the thing is, truth seeker, for them, you have to be afraid for you to adhere. You have to be afraid, because they make the consequence of not doing what they want you to do, they make the consequence to be so dire. Look at it. Imagine somebody tell us, say, if you don't do this, you're going to burn up in a one fire. They make the consequence so dire that your heart and your soul is trapped by fear. You become so afraid that you feel like you must do what they say you should do, for fear of ending up in this lake of fire. Exactly. But in the same breath, they say, oh, he's a loving and faithful God. You know, the stories are quite contradicting. Yeah, very contradicting. And if God is so loving, I don't understand. I don't understand why the love have to be turned on and turned off. And if God is capable of changing us and making us how he wants us, why do we still got to keep going back to pray for him to change us, to make us better? Why would he make us bad and corrupt in the first place? I don't get it. They drive fear into people, and then they say it is written that God has not given you a spirit of fear. Exactly. But that's the only way for them to control you. Because if you are afraid, see, mentally say, you're not permitted to ask questions. Excuse me. Excuse me. You see it? The people are not permitted to even ask questions. Excuse me. Yeah, the people were not even permitted to ask questions. You can't ask questions. You can't question Moses. Whatever Moses tell you if you do, or that you have to do. You can't question him. Yeah, that's how the fear of them driving our people them. Hold on there. Supposed to have one talent on there. So Jesus, me say me sneeze and my head hurt me. You're gonna have to bring 7 oxes and 7. God, I treat me like Eliphaz and him friend them. I say I treat me. So me have to go carry me 7 oxen and me 7 goats. Becomes I goat or sheep become sacrificing in the morning. Because I want me said today. But the truth is the truth. Yeah. They engineer written laws. Exactly the same thing. Because remember, when colonial masters wanted to control us, they did so too by laws. Them implement all kinds of laws. Yeah. And then them say, if you don't go by this law, this is going to be your punishment. I don't know if you all saw, earlier this week, I saw a news article where some people, I think I down in Australia, if I remember correctly, some native people win how much $1 million because they dare to sue the colonial masters. Because remember the colonial masters, them, when England claims that they want to control Australia, remember say them send all of these people go down there, go down to Australia and go displace the native people them, send them up in the bush, up in the rocky bush where the animal can't feed because a pair of stone. You understand? Chase them away from the seaside and fishing was their livelihood. Then chase them away up in the mountains. And something, and I think one of the man, somebody ancient had um filed some kind of lawsuit or something. But that's the same thing they did in America here. Religion help creates laws to govern and rule over humanity as seen and unseen. Exactly. Exactly. Because that's the only way to maintain control. You have to apply, reward and punishment. Once you apply reward and punishment, you will get compliance. If there's no reward and there's no punishment, or if there's only reward, you're gonna find everybody are gonna do it if it's only reward. If it's only punishment, people might rebel. So that's how they got to control us. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with law and order. But may I tell you, say, as it pertains to the Bible, fear is what they used to control everybody, all the people. See, because you see, even for the children of Israel to associate with the other people. Remember when they got out of the wilderness of Zin, the people who were over on the other side, who they were talking to, those people were their relatives. Remember over the other side there was Esau. There was Esau's generations. So they were cousins with them. But only according to the Bible, only Jacob descendant them did get these teachings as to what to and what not to do. But to drive fear into them, it says, Moses tell them, God said enough to associate with the people over there. So, and the same are loving God, even though the people over there were their relatives. Those generations. So they were their relatives. And God said enough, he said God said enough to associate with them, or else them are go because they are going to corrupt them. And if them are go associate with them, they shall be cut off from among their people. They shall wander like a thing in the breeze, have no abiding place. Fear and threat. That's what kept the people like that. Somebody said they engineer written laws so as to brainwash us with fear of being in control and rule over us. I mean, exactly. That's all it was. Yeah. They're coming like, even in some household, the children are raised with such fear. You hear say, wait till your father come. Never hear that? Wait till your father come. Because when the father come, is the father who is going to apply the discipline. And when the father apply the discipline, it is so harsh that they remember it for years. So they know for behave themselves. Love your enemy. Pray for them who persecute you. Feed your enemy. So, so God tell them not to associate. Exactly. Exactly. Just like he tell them, just like when they were at Mount Sinai, and Moses claims them go up on the mountain, and God give him the stone them, give him the pillar them with the commandments. And at the same time, Moses said, God up on the mountain, tell the people, remember upon the tablet, plain and straight, said, thou shalt not kill. And same time, Moses that carried this tablet, come present it to the people them. Come present it to the people them. So God said, thou shalt not kill. And at the same time, Moses that tell the people them, say, God say, if them as much as go beside the mountain, or go try fi peep, fi see a who they on top of the mountain, them are them animals, they shall be put to death. And then you wonder why the people strayed, you wonder why the people ran away. The people them must run away from the foolishness. You wonder why Israel was dismantled. You wonder why? Why? Because of foolishness. The people them go gone, now come back. Like, yeah, I'm over this. I'm over this. There's too much rules, and the rules are not consistent. The punishments are not consistent. Everything. Thou shalt not kill, but at the same time, gotta order everybody dead. One time, 24,000 people. God tell Moses, just unalive them. God's ability to get people unalived came like nothing. That was the punishment. Just unalive them. Get rid of the problem once and for all. So, it leaves a lot of questions. Yeah, let me take them pill. For my headache. Anyway, yeah. Yes, lovely people. So, I'm not going to stay in here much longer. I'm going to get myself together now to go to sleep. Miss Thing, make them cook. Make them cook, sis. Let them cook. I appreciate you, my love. Where's the Trev? You remember how in our culture them say not to have kids with each other cause family ram? Well, yes. But if you notice that in the Bible, they were expected to have children because even the descendants of Moses, we said the descendants of Moses, descendants of Jacob, well, Moses did give them instructions and say, God say, like, you don't have to sleep with your mother, you don't have to sleep with your father, you don't have to sleep with your sister, your brother. And so he did have some specifications as to who, about sexual morality then. Let's just say that. Oh, Missy, me and my friend, they marry and have kids. Yes, they marry and have kids with their first cousin. That was a way. That's a like clan mentality. That's the same thing like when Moses taught. Eh. Yeah, that was the same thing that Moses taught. They had to be with each other. I remember at one point in the Bible, I remember he read, he said they had to bring the person to them. They have to bring the person to them to find out which generation this person is coming from. The person have to relate to them. Who are them granny? Who are them mother? Yeah, whose lineage them spring from for them to be accepted in. You understand? Motivation, what's up, sis? How you doing? You come just in time. You come just in time when me I leave. But it is what it is. That's how it is in the Bible. It's just that now that we are modernized, we are say we sort of going a little bit further to say no, your cousins too are off limits. But in the days gone by, your cousin was good to marry. Yeah, you know, they're not afraid their kids. If they're afraid their kids come out with all kinds of stuff. The thing is knowledge. Knowledge is power. They didn't know that then. All they were looking at was the fact that they were keeping their clan together. That's what was important to them. It'll be just like down a Westmoreland, down a Seaford town. You ever hear of Seaford town? Seaford town down a Westmoreland? Well, down a Seaford town, back in the days, a lot of Europeans settled in Seaford town. Well, if them people here settled down there. And what they would do is when the ships were going back to England, them would have go back to England and they would carry their family, carry their German, yeah, they would carry their German family members come to Jamaica because they didn't want to interact with the slaves. They didn't want to interact with these people. They built their own little community and they stayed by themselves and they slept with each other. They married each other. They had their kids with each other. Their idea was to maintain the clan. Then they start to realize that the people them come out deaf, dumb, with all kinds of congenital problems. And later on, it was realized because when something like this start happening among a group of people, sociologists are go swoop in and start doing studies and stuff. Yeah. So they found out that the genes too strong. That's why the people them end up so. So that's how the people down there in Seaford Town started to integrate with former slaves, descendants of slaves, and start to have relations with people outside of themselves. And even now, when you go down a Seaford town, you can see the people them. You find people down there like dark skin, but like here the way down on them back, eyes of different color. Yeah, you find a great mixture down there because the people them started to get to have relations and marry outside of just the Germans. And that's how they reduce the incidences of children with all kinds of anomalies. Hmm. Yeah. So that no family ram round here. Uno now go marry uno sister or brother or something so uno maintain no clan. Uno go road go find somebody we uno related to. Alright? And uno don't forget to uno find them, uno vet them. Because I pay crosses their road these days. But anyway, we're not get into that because that's another story for another day. Well, to this day, the owner of the local corner store, that's what they do. Yeah, people still do that. People still practice that in countries in the Far East. People still practice those things. It's their culture. I mean, you can't fight the people them for their culture. It's only through education. Only through education that people will break rank and file with stuff like that. If the people have done a Seaford town never start to accept that this has to be what is causing our children to come out deaf and blind and come out with so many congenital problems, if they didn't accept that, they would have still down there breed upon each other and would have still continue to be having these sick children. But they have accepted because it has been proven that the lesser uno we sleep with one another and procreate with one another, the least number of children you are going to have in the community with congenital problems. All right, so I'm gone. HB, we're gonna continue looking. We are gonna continue looking for love for me. Okay, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, everybody, for coming in this morning. I sincerely appreciate everybody over there on the talk, over there on the tube. If you're over there on the tube and you didn't tap the screen coming in to register your like, please tap it on your way out. For those of you over here on the talk, I sincerely appreciate y'all. Miss Sting and Card and Truth Seeker and Tommy's here and everybody else, Georgette and several other people who have been here. I sincerely appreciate y'all. Tomorrow we are gonna read one different book at the Bible. Which book if we read tomorrow? want to suggest one book for read tomorrow? Anybody want to suggest which book we must start reading tomorrow? Nobody now suggest nothing. Alright, then if we don't suggest nothing, tomorrow when we come, we just flip the page. George said tomorrow. George said, Jesus, somebody say, Miss Thing, yes, my love, thank you. Have a good one. Somebody said Jeremiah, and somebody said Solomon. No, we went in order already. So we're not have to go in order anymore. Because each book is a story anyway. Yeah, each book is a story. So somebody said if you do, all right, 2 people said Solomon, 1 person said Jeremiah. So we are going to do Songs of Solomon. If we read the whole Bible, I've read the whole Bible already. A couple of months ago, we finished the whole Bible. Yeah, the people who have been here with me for a minute, yeah, we read the whole Bible from beginning to end. We read it and talked about it, had extensive conversations about it. Yeah. So now tomorrow, we are going to read the book of Solomon. We could hear what Solomon have to say. Read Job, Psalms, and Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Songs of Solomon, Isaiah, the prophet. Alright, Songs of Solomon. Alright, tomorrow we read Songs of Solomon. Let me left my Bible open, right? So until tomorrow. Yeah, that is the thing. You have to, like, when I'm reading it good, if you have your own Bible and you mark it and you make notes and you talk to whoever you preach or whatever, anything where you don't understand. Yeah, that's how you're gonna learn. If you are interested in learning what's in the Bible, if you are interested in what is in the Bible, if you're interested in knowing and familiarizing yourself with what is in it. Yeah. But I have it marked here, and then I have one big book over there, so when me like jot down the little story them, the little stories were in the Bible. Yeah. But anyway, that's that. We're gonna come back again tomorrow morning. I don't think I'm coming back later. I'm gonna try to feel better. I'm gonna hold me fresh and wash me here and see if I can feel better. All right, people. So I will see you all. Yeah, but enough time you miss, baby. So I will see you all sometime later. Have yourselves a great day, guys. If you can't be good, be extra careful. Right, Andrea? I miss thing.